Hi there, my name is Jen Smith, and this is just a short introduction video into the series on Mark's Gospel that we're going to be doing together. I wanted to do a series on Mark in this particular season because I think that Mark is one of the Gospels that likes to mess with our expectations a little bit. And I feel as if that really resonates with this season. I'm sure that many of us had plans for this season. We had ideas of how it was going to work and what it was going to look like and how things were going to be. And actually, for many of us, that just isn't the case. And so I suppose I want to make two statements about that. The Bible is great at helping us navigate and work through times when it didn't work out how we thought it was going to work out. We don't need to force the Bible to help us in those situations. It's great at meeting us in that place. And secondly, that Mark in particular has this hallmark of telling his story in a way that people didn't quite expect and introducing us to a Jesus who, defies expectations at every turn. So that's why Mark, and that's why Mark particularly in this season. I'm calling it either holding two realities together or reading Mark with an in-between lens. That's because the particular kind of style I'm going to take in these videos is helping us to see how Mark uses often two particular people or two particular situations or individual stories that come one after the other to help tell this complex and intertwined story about who he believes this Messiah to be. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to take a story at a time, or what in Greek is called a pericope. We're not just going to look at, say, blind Bartimaeus or Jesus' temptation, which is only really small in Mark. We're going to read them, the little stories, in relation to one another and see what that can tell us about the Jesus that we find in Mark. I'm really excited about that. First thing you can do if you want to get involved in this is to get into the text itself. My biggest recommendation I can make to you is to try and see if you can engage with the text of the Gospel of Mark in one sitting. It's a bit of an ask because it'll take a couple of hours, but maybe you could do it on audio. Maybe you could find, I know there's plenty of websites that the leader of your group will be able to direct you to. Listen to the Gospel, read the Gospel, but try and read it as you would a novel. Try and read it rather than in little chunks. Try and read it in as fewer sittings as possible. What I would suggest to you is if you can get it in plain text, that means without the chapter headings, without the little story headings that say this story is about. See if you can get it in plain text, so read it all the way through without any gaps. That would be great. That is either available from your group leader. We'll make plain text versions available, so ask them if you're interested in that, or you can do it on BibleGateway.com. There's a way of in the drop down menu at the top when you access a text, there's a way of saying print without chapter and verse numbers, and see if you can do it that way. That might be another way around it. So yeah, sign up to a group however you're accessing this. I'm really looking forward to delving into this with you. It will be a 4-stage process, so I'm not here to tell you all the answers. I'm here to get the conversation started. We're going to journey in this together. We want to hear what God is revealing to you in this time. We want to hear how the text is changing you and engaging you where you're at. So the first step is we're going to read it together. Second step is I'm going to make some observations on a really short video. And then we're going to make some connections together. What do those observations lead us to? What kind of connections are we seeing within the text? And then the main part of this whole series is to discuss, to throw out our ideas, to ask our questions, to present ourselves to one another and to God in this season, and really try and find Jesus in the midst of this uncharted territory that we seem to find ourselves in. So blessings to you wherever you're seeing this, and I'm really looking forward to connecting with you over this coming season. Okay, bye-bye now.